Hello world, welcome back to HTRC. Got a new charger that I've been using for the last couple of weeks, and this is the HTRC T400 Pro, brand new charger. I think it's been out for a month or two, and they sent this over to me for review. And for those of you that have seen the video, yes, my actual favorite charger I ever use is this, the T240. I take this to the track pretty much every time I run. It's the main charger I use at the track. However, it is limited a bit because it pretty much is geared more for 2S, 3S, really like track size type batteries, because it's 150 watts or 75 watts per channel if you run it on AC. I really like that charger because it's compact, super easy to use. Pretty much has everything I need out of like a 2S type charger. But the main limitation of that charger is that it is limited in watts, so 75 watts per channel or 150 watts total. But they have now this new upgraded one, which is the T400. So it's basically very much the same charger. It comes in a black case instead of like a gray case. And the main difference is it is 200 watts on AC or 400 watts on DC. So I don't like to carry around a DC battery power supply if I don't have to. So I like these kind of integrated AC type chargers, really for convenience, less setup time. So this guy does 200 watts on AC, and you can split up, kind of like evenly 100 watts each side, or like up to like 40 watts on one side and 160 on the other. So it's really going to be good for like 4S batteries. So you could definitely charge two 4S batteries simultaneously at probably 5 or 6 amps each. And then if you want to run 6S, you can also do that, of course. You would probably want to run one at about 120, 140 watts in the other. So pretty much you can only charge like one 6S battery at a time unless they're pretty small batteries, but it definitely can do 6S, although I will go through kind of the menu system a little bit. So as you can see, it's 2 channels. It comes with these balance boards, and inside the box there are also some additional like octopus battery cables here. So they cover almost every type of connector you could possibly use. Dean's, Molex, XT60, EC3, I forgot what this is called, like the little receiver type battery style, Futaba connector, Traxxas type connector. So pretty much everything except the one I use, which is EC5. So I did pick up a pair of these for like $8 on Amazon. I'll put a link to those below. So depending on what kind of battery you use, you'll definitely want to make sure you have the battery connector that matches. But they're pretty cheap. All you really need are these like 4mm banana plugs. Already has the balance boards. There are ports for temperature sensors. I've never really used that, so I'm not going to go through that, but that is an option. And then there's also an additional plug here on the side for DC connector, and then a little power switch here on the back as well. So very few chargers actually have battery supply. So on-off switch. So I do like that quite a bit. And then you pretty much just select the battery type you want. It supports LiPo, Life, lithium ion, lithium high voltage, nickel metal hydride, nickel cadmium, lead acid, and smart batteries. I don't have any smart batteries, so I'm not going to show that. But and then here on the bottom, it has a few different things. So setting, you can save different menus, or just different profiles, I guess you'd call them. So like you might have one for a 2S charge at 5 amps and another one for like a 4S battery at 6 amps or something like that. You can also use monitor to check the voltages. And there are 3 different languages: English, Chinese, and I think it's German. I don't speak German, but it looks like German to me. So kind of show you how this goes. Obviously it's 2 channels. You can charge 2 batteries at a time, although you want to make sure that you have enough wattage. So basically you divide wattage by the voltage fully charged. So for this guy, it's 14.8 volts at rest, but really 16.8 volts at full charge. So you want to divide that wattage by the full charge. For example, let's say 16.8, and then that'll give you basically how many amps you need to run. So before you do anything, I do recommend you kind of go into the settings, and I'll kind of zoom in here so you can see a little bit closer. Buzzer volume, that's just basically how loud you want it to be. Low input voltage, so you want, if in case you don't have enough voltage on your DC, you just want to double check that. Balance speed, normal work totally fine. And then the main thing you want to check is basically is AC power. So right now it's set to 80 watts on the left, 120 watts on the right. So you probably want to increase that. Normally maybe 100 watts each side if you're running 4S. But if you're running like 6S, then maybe you want to run like 140 watts on one side or even up to 160, I think it does, and then 40 watts on the other side for whatever non-power. So just make sure you have enough wattage for whatever you want to charge. 100 watts is plenty for 4S, but maybe you want to increase it to like 120 or 140 if you're running 6S battery. So go ahead and save that. So the best thing about this charger is just like crazy simple to use. Once you got your batteries hooked up on your balance board as well as the main plugs, you just pick the battery type. So for example, LiPo, double check the battery cell is 4S. Yes, that matches what you got. End voltage should always be 4.2 volts for LiPo. Charge current, that's the main thing you want to adjust. So for a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, you want it at 5 amps. So you basically just match the capacity size. And then you just hit start. So make sure you always do balance charge, of course. Hit start, and that's it. So it'll show you basically a little graph of the voltage, and then tell you, how much milliamp hours it's actually put into there, the current it's running at, the voltage of the battery right now, input voltage is just AC, no big deal, internal temperature of the charger, and then you can always check the individual cells if you want to see what each cell is currently at. And that's pretty much it. You just let it charge and you're done. So it's pretty much like 2 presses of the charger and it automatically goes. And so that's pretty much what I love about this charger. Just super simple, easy to use. You can charge 2 batteries at the same time. It's got enough wattage now to do some 4S or even 6S batteries. So the only downsides I found is that I generally don't discharge with this. I have had one screen go bad on my other charger. So on my T240, I have had the display kind of go bad when I was discharging. I think it generates a little too much heat, so I would not use this as a discharger, just as a charger. But if you follow that, I think you'll be fine with this charger. So anyways, that's pretty much it. I hope you liked this video. Definitely hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Look for more reviews soon, and thanks for watching.